go. All right, the name of this presentation is Digitally Door Knocking, the Way to Get Business. And I prefaced it by saying that this is not your broker's real estate. And here's why I said that. Listen, brokers, for the most part, not all of them, they have a tendency to be a little bit older, a little bit more experienced in the business. And things change. The way you market today is not the way you should be marketing because technology has changed. Let me give you a perfect example. I'm going to pick on millennials. If I've got a millennial on my call, you just have to forgive me. But here's the deal. You can call a millennial all day long and they won't answer the phone. Send them a text message and they almost instantly respond. Am I telling the truth? Am I just telling the truth? If I'm telling the truth, let me know. Put it in the comments right now. Just put hashtag truth. One of the things you're going to learn about working around me is I just spit truth. And the truth is they don't answer the phone. And here's the truth. Brokers aren't going to teach you things that they know. It's not that they're trying to teach you wrong things. They're just going to teach you what they know. So they're going to teach you how to door knock, send out mailers, go to chamber meetings, newsletters, work your spear. How many times have you guys heard that over and over again? I need more business. Well, work your spear. Go to FISBO, expireds, withdrawals. Go knock on doors. And it's not that those things don't work. It's just that there's a better way. So I preface this by saying this is not your broker's real estate because marketing has changed. All right. And if you're an agent and you plan on being in this business tomorrow, you may want to tune in to how marketing has changed because you're going to be left in the dust. I talk to agents day in and day out that have 20 plus experience in this business, and they all tell me the same song and dance. It is completely different. The whole business has shifted to a marketing business. Now, let me guys ask you a question, especially for those newer agents that may be on the line right now. Question: did real estate school properly prepare you on how to do this business? Yes or no? Did real estate school properly prepare you on how to do this business, or did it just prepare you enough to pass the test? Love to see some comments come in here to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Now, for the average agent that I speak with, the answer is going to be just enough to pass the test. But the rubber meets the road when it comes to marketing, because there's only two things that you have to learn in order to master this business. The first thing you have to learn is how to attract buyers and sellers. Now, notice I use the word attract. You see, I woke up this morning, I looked at my calendar, I said, what do I have to do today? And I had 7 agents to talk to that booked themselves on my calendar to talk to me about how I can help them increase their business. And guess what? I got 7 more calls tomorrow. And the day after that, I think I got 6. Here's the point. That is by design. It's not by chance. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, what do? You've already failed. So how does that apply to you? Well, what if you woke up in the morning, you look at your calendar, and bam, you had 2 sellers to talk to? Would that change your life? What if every day this week you had calls on your calendar from buyers and sellers who booked themselves to talk to you and you never had a conversation with them? Would that change your life? Guys, if you're not excited right now, you should be getting jacked up, because that's exactly what we teach here at Marketing and Conversion. We teach you how to work smart, not hard. And it all starts with knowing that marketing has changed and you've got to change with the times. You see, billboards and radio and chamber meetings and mailers, all that stuff has been replaced with these glomerate companies. It has been replaced by Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. That is what's controlling the game. All right, listen, I'm going to use an analogy right now. Let's say you're going fishing. Any ladies on the line, men on the line that like to go fishing, put in the comments, just put the word fishing to let me know you like to go fishing. See, if you're going fishing, you got to make sure you're fishing in a pond that has a bunch of fish. if you have two ponds to fish in and one pond's got a bunch of fish and the other pond don't have too many fish, you're obviously going to throw your line in the pond that has a bunch of fish, right? So where are buyer and sellers hanging out the most? Are they hanging out in chamber meetings? Are they reading your darn junk mail? Are they reading your drip email sequence that KV Core convinced you that you had to have? Ouch, ouch. Yeah, I went there. I did. I went there. No, they're not. They're hanging out online. According to the National Association of Realtors, 96%, that's a big, huge number, guys. 96% of all home sales originate initially online. So shouldn't that make more sense that you're throwing lines into Twitter, you're throwing lines into Facebook, you're throwing lines into Snapchat, LinkedIn, YouTube, because that's where the buyers are hanging out. So we're going to talk about a strategy that you can use to accomplish the three most important things, because people do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. So let's talk a little bit about how to do that. So you've got to be creative as a realtor, because if you do the same thing that other people have done, you're going to get the same results that everybody has got. Does that make sense? You've got to do something different to get something different. So I'm going to teach you how to think outside the box here. That's my goal of this presentation. My goal is for you to walk away going, dang, this guy knows what the heck he's talking about. Maybe I should do that. All right. Let me walk you through the mindset of a seller. Listen, you guys have got to get this, okay? If you're the type of person that just heard me say mindset and you're thinking, oh my gosh, here we go again, you're the exact person that I need to talk to, all right? I need you to bear with me for a moment. I need you to think about something, okay? If I'm a seller, I might want to sell my house. It doesn't mean I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to sell my house when my wife or husband got a job transfer and I have to get out of here. I'm about to lose it and I have to short sell it. That's when I have to sell it. But do you want to know why I have a maybe here? Can you guys guess why? Because people move or go away from two different things, either pleasure or pain. Your brain is designed to move you toward pleasure or away from pain, toward pleasure, away from pain, right? So if I'm a seller and I'm thinking to myself, it might be nice to have a bigger house. There's something that may be bothering me. Maybe I'm in an HOA and every time my kid leaves his bicycle in the front yard, I get a letter from the HOA and it's starting to tick me off. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, my next house ain't gonna be in an HOA. Maybe I have a postage size stamp of a lot and I want a little property. I'd love to be able to put my boat in the backyard, build a garden. I don't have those things right now. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, I might want to do that. Maybe I'm in my mid 50s, early 60s, and my knees are starting to kill me. I love my house, but golly, a single story house sure would be better. So why don't sellers just automatically just make a decision like, I'm gonna sell my house? You wanna know why? Because moving sucks. That's why. No one wants to really move, right? That's a lot of stuff. And you know what? You never know how much stuff you really have until you make the decision to move. And in the back of their mind, they know that they'd have to go through this stuff. Remember, pleasure and pain, pleasure and pain. And it is painful to move. So you've got to think like a seller. Maybe they want to upsize. Maybe they're living in their first house right now and they bought an FHA. They're doing well. They've saved some money and they're ready for that big, nice house. But the reason they're wanting the house may not be for the reasons you think. You see, maybe they just want to keep up with the Joneses. Maybe they want to beat the Joneses. Maybe they want to prove their dad wrong, that they're going to be successful. Maybe, just maybe, they want to put on a show for everyone else. See, a house isn't a house. A house means something. But not all people fit into that category. Maybe they just want more room so they can spend time with their family. Maybe, they're living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. They're all sharing their own bathroom. And they're like, oh my God, it sure would be great if the kids had their own bathroom. And maybe that's their motivating factor. In order to get a seller really wanting to go through the pain of moving, you have to identify the real reason they may be looking to make a change. And that isn't so they can sell their house and make money. There is an underlying reason. Now, I'm going to tie this whole entire presentation up when we get toward the end. You're going to see where I'm going with this. Maybe they just like to entertain. My wife and I bought a 3,500 square foot house because we like to entertain. We love to have people over. That was the motivating factor, that we wanted a house that we could entertain. People think that it's all about the money. And I'm going to teach you something right now that if you don't know, is going to help you for the rest of your entire life. Okay, here it is. Stop thinking about leads as a paycheck. Stop thinking about leads like a paycheck. Listen, every single lead that you get, they fit into 2 different buckets, either bucket number 1 or bucket number 2. Bucket number 1 is they watch way too much HGTV. They ain't planning on doing nothing. They're wasting your time. They're wasting my time. And they're not going to do anything. We call these people habitual house surfers. If you know what I'm talking about and you agree, put HGTV in the comments right now. So even if you're watching the replay, I go back and look at comments. If you know what I'm talking about, put an HGTV that you've had a lead and they ain't planning on doing nothing. You want to identify who they are and get them out of your pipeline just as quickly as you possibly can. Bottom line. Or they fit into bucket number 2. And bucket number 2 is there's something that's happening in their future, either short future or long future, that has them looking into their options. Somebody is driving an hour and a half home from work because their job relocated them. And by the time he or she gets home, the kids are in bed and the wife or husband's thinking it sure would be nice to have my spouse back. Somebody is living in an apartment complex and they just found out that the girlfriend or wife is pregnant, and now they know that they need to make a change. Somebody is thinking about they want that bigger property. Someone wants to impress the Joneses. Somebody wants to do this. Someone wants to do that. Here's the point. When you can identify how you can help people, then the money, it just comes. So don't think about every lead like a commission check. Roll your sleeves up, and I want you to think, which bucket do they fit in? Bucket number 1 or bucket number 2? And if they're in bucket number 2, how can I help them? Help people, and the money, I'm telling you, the money is just going to come. You've got to be a problem solver. Figure out what it is they're trying to accomplish and move toward having them accomplish that, and they will choose you as their agent. This has been one of my secrets throughout the years, because my clients will attest that I rolled my sleeves up and I help people. Now, I want you to remember this. People do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. People do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So let me ask you a question. Why do real estate agents think that they can get a lead, have one telephone conversation, send a text message, and expect someone to sign your darn buyer's A to Z agreement or your exclusive listing agreement? There I go again, spitting truth out. That's what the average agent thinks. They have forgot the art the art of conversation. Let me ask you a question. Ladies who are on the call right now, okay? Let's say you're on a date. Here you are and you're on a date. First date. You're liking the guy. Everything's going well. You get to the end of the first date and the guy calls you the next day. He says, hey, I want you to meet me somewhere. And then this happens. Will you marry me? Who's going to say yes? Ladies, if your husband, for those who are married or those who aren't married, your fiance or boyfriend, whatever, if the very first date happened and they got down on one knee, would you say yes? And I promise you, I'm not going any darn further in this presentation until I get some darn feedback here. So go in the comments right now and let me know if you think you would have said yes if the person that you went on a date with one time dropped down on one darn knee. Ladies, where you at? Be a good time for me to take a break and get a drink. Brianna said no. Mary said absolutely not. Nikki said hell no. But she put the asterisks in there because you're being polite. All right. Make sure you guys are still alive and with me. All right. So check this out. All right. What if 3 months go by and you're dating and things are going well? You're not arguing at all. You're dating. You're liking him. He's liking you. And then he takes you to Paris and you have the best time of your entire life. And you're thinking, wow, this person is amazing. And then 3 more months go by and you're liking him. He's liking you. And then he takes you to Hawaii. And every moment that you spend with this person, you see yourself getting closer and closer to being his bride. You're starting to think that maybe this guy is the one. You're having conversations with your friends and your family that I think I may have found the one. And then 3 more months go by. You're liking him and he's liking you. And then you take him home to meet your parents. For those who are Bachelor fans and Bachelorette fans, this is where it gets real interesting, right? So you take them home on the hometown date, right? And your parents fall in love with the guy. And then 3 more months go by. You're liking him and he's liking you. And then he drops down on one knee after he has successfully dated you. Now, did he increase his chances of getting a yes? Put in the comments right now if you feel me, if you know what I'm talking about. Would you be more apt to date this guy permanently as your husband if a year has went by and you have dated and fell in love and had these amazing memories and moments together? Mary Beth says yes. Is she the only woman that can see how this will be beneficial? Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback. I'm talking to a blank screen right here. If you're a lady and this happened to you, would it increase your odds that you might want to take the next step with this person? Obviously, guys, the answer is yes. So why is that? It's because there is value. He demonstrated value. The way he looks, the way he talks, his moral compass, his religious preferences, it lined up with yours, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, he demonstrated that value. People do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. So let me tell you about marketing. There's 2 types of marketing that's out there. And marketing is only designed for one purpose and one purpose alone. To get them to know, like, and trust you. You have what's called interruption marketing. Okay. This is when a consumer probably wasn't thinking about you that morning. They're like on Facebook and they're scrolling, and then bam, there's your ad. That is different than intent-driven marketing. You see, if someone goes to Google and they specifically type in, what's my home worth? Well, there's probably something real serious that has them thinking about making a move. The intent is there. So that is the difference between interruption marketing and intent-driven marketing. Facebook is probably what I'm talking about. Facebook is the absolute best tool ever created in the history of the world to learn to develop relationships. Because when a lead comes in, what you have to do is you have to find out as much information as you can about that lead, who they are, their habits, et cetera, so you can learn how to have common ground to have that conversation. Before Facebook, we got a lead and we were blind in the dark. We had no idea. Now I can go to your profile and tell you what you like to eat, where you like to be, your political views, if you're a Christian or not. I can find something to have common ground with you because of Facebook. But who's ever heard this before? These leads suck. If you've ever had a lead before in your entire life and somewhere you thought these leads suck, give me something in the comments. Just put something like leads suck. Yeah, put in leads suck in the comments. It's okay if you say it. I know you probably think I'm gonna knock you down a notch here in a minute, but nevertheless, it's okay if you say it. If you've ever had a Facebook lead, a YouTube lead, a Google lead, a Zillow lead, Realtor.com lead, and you felt that they suck, put down there, leads suck. All right. Now, let me tell you something that might cause some of you guys to get off this live right now. Here I go again. Spitting truth. You ready? Facebook leads don't suck. Your funnel does. Yep. I said it. I got the gumption. I said it. It's not the leads. It's your systems. It's your processes. Someone hasn't taught you how to properly nurture a lead into a funnel process. And if you've never heard the term funnel, we definitely have to have a conversation. It's totally completely on a website. But Facebook leads don't suck. I guarantee you it's your funnel, and I can help you fix that. Remember, they only fit into two different buckets. Bucket number one, which means they watch too much HGTV, or bucket number two, which means that something is happening in the future that has them looking into their options. There is no middle ground. But this is the one thing that I wish people realized when they got their real estate license. Okay. This is a sales job, and you're not selling a house. You think that you are, but you're not. What you're selling is you. You're selling yourself. People do business with what? People they know, they like, and they trust. So the first thing you have to do is sell yourself. Now, you may be thinking to this, oh my goodness, this guy's 30 minutes into this thing, he ain't talked about nothing yet. There's a reason why. I needed to set the framework for you to understand where I'm going next, all right? You have got to develop relationships with your leads. And the only way you get to do that is by going on dates. Now, if you're ready, after 30 minutes of warm up, I want you to put in the comments next level. And I better get 10 people to type in next level, or I'm going to sit here and drink my darn drink. I want to see 10 people to type in next level for me to proceed with this presentation, because I'm about to drop some value bombs. Brendan, Nikki, where you at? Let me hear it. Next level, next level. You guys got it in you? Because, I know this stuff. I put the presentation together. If you want to know this stuff, I need you to type in next level, because I'm talking to a blank screen here. I need to make sure you guys are paying attention. There they come, there they come, there they come. Next level, next level, next level. Yes, 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 yes. All right, guys. Let me give you a brief commercial break, because I am running a business here, right? My wife and I, we co-authored a book called Lead Conversion Secrets. And if you have not received a free copy of my book, I want you to put in the comments right now, free book. And I'll make sure I get you a link. All that I ask is that you at least cover the darn shipping and handling. I will send you a free copy of my book. So if you're hearing this so far and you're thinking to yourself, man, this guy knows what he's talking about. One, yes, I do. Secondly, you want a copy of my book, go ahead and type in free book in the comments, and I'll make sure to get that out to you. Now, we talked about a cake. I briefly mentioned that if I wanted to bake a cake, I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to find out who the best cake person is, and I think that's going to be Martha Stewart. And she's going to show up to my kitchen, and she's going to give me the amount of yeast, sugar, and flour to use, and she's going to supervise everything that I do, and I'm probably able to bake a cake. So I'm going to show you what you need to be doing to get fast and easy listings. So if you have not been paying attention, now is the time to pay attention and grab out a notebook and a pen, because here we go. All right, step number one. Man, my throat's going dry here. Step number one, you need to get an Excel spreadsheet of every subdivision that you want to own. How do you do that? Go into your MLS system or go into the tax records. Every MLS and tax system is different, so I can't pinpoint that for every single person. But you're going to get a list of every name, address, phone number, and email address of everyone in an entire neighborhood. Now, I know what you're thinking to yourself. You're like, how do I get the email addresses? How do I get the phone numbers? All right. So step number one is to go and get a list of everyone in every subdivision that you want to master, and keep your list separate too. Separate, subdivision 1, subdivision 2, right? Step number 2, you are going to hire a skip tracing company to research and give you the phone numbers and email addresses to everyone on that list. All right. So step number 1, you're going to get your list together. Step number 2, you're going to give that to a skip tracing company. Now, I know you may be thinking, well, which skip tracing company, Dwayne? That's a good question. There are several out there. For my students who are already part of Agent to Rainmaker, which I'll touch on today, I give you the exact source that I've used throughout the years. So it's given to you. Step number 3, you're going to upload that list inside of Facebook to create a customized audience. I teach my students how to do that with step-by-step video tutorials. If you do not know how to do that, no biggie. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. So you're going to create a customized audience. Each audience is going to be a neighborhood 1, 2, and 3. Step number 4, you're going to record a video, and you're going to show that video directly to that audience. Now, the key is making sure you're saying the right types of things on that video. Now, for my students, it's laid out for you every 30 days, exactly what you're going to say. All you've got to do is get in front of a camera and repeat the darn process, say what I tell you to say, upload it, and boom, now you're done. Otherwise, come up with something catchy to grab their attention. But there are a few things that you want to put in that first video. You're going to introduce yourself as the neighborhood expert. Hey, this is Dwayne Roberts, and I am the expert for the Breckenridge subdivision. I don't care if I've ever sold a house my entire life. I'm going to say that. And then you're going to say, right here in my hands, I've got a list of properties that have sold in the last 12 months. So if you're thinking about selling your house sometime this year, you're going to want to know what these homes sold for per square footage. I'm happy to give you a free copy of that, and also happy to give you a complimentary CMA so you can have a rough idea of what your home may sell for if you decide to sell this year. Rates are down, buyers are heavy, inventory is low. You'll never get a better deal on your house right now. Simple, short. So, interruption marketing. They're scrolling Facebook, and then they hear something like, "Hey, Breckenridge homeowners, my name is Dwayne Roberts. I'm with eXp Realty, and I am the expert in your neighborhood." And it goes through the pitch. You feeling me so far? You see where I'm going with this? But then you're going to wait 30 days. And then 30 days goes by, you're going to give them a report. Now, for my students, these reports are already in the back office. So this particular report is the quick 11 tips to passing your home inspection with flying colors. So 30 days later, you may get on that call, on that video, and you can say, "Hey, Breckenridge homeowners, Dwayne Roberts again here, expert in your neighborhood. And if you've been thinking about selling your home this year, I want to make sure that you get a free copy of my report right here, which is the quick 11 tips to passing your home inspection with flying colors. As long as I've been doing this, I've been noticing that if you don't take care of these things, that's what's going to reduce the amount of money you're going to walk away with." Happy to give you a free copy of this report, as well as a free market analysis of what you might be able to sell your house for. So, are you getting this yet, guys? You ready? Date number 1. Date number 2, they're getting to know you. You see where I'm going with this? And then, for my students, we actually give you the exact campaigns. We give you the ad copy. We give you the actual image that you can use. It's 100% plug and play. And you're going to run that ad for about 60 days. 60 days later, you're going to run another ad. And you're going to give them another report. Again, for my students, it's already in the course. In this one, you're going to avoid the 6 critical mistakes when buying a bigger home. You're going to say something like, "Hey, this is Dwayne Roberts, expert in the Breckenridge subdivision. And if you guys have been thinking of selling in 2021, make sure you don't make a mistake when you're buying a big home. Matter of fact, I got a report right here that will show you how to avoid these 6 critical mistakes when buying a bigger house." Love to give you a free copy, as well as a list of all the homes that sold in the neighborhood, and let you know what we might be able to sell your house for. Boom, bam, just that easy. Then you can choose one of our images inside the course. 100% plug and play. Then 60 days later, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to send another report. Selling your home. Don't let these expensive mistakes lower your profit. And you're going to choose one of the campaigns to put an image on. Everything is given to you on a silver platter, and you're going to rinse and repeat this process. Now, when they make it to get that report, you're going to grab what's called a Facebook pixel. A Facebook pixel will allow you to start following them around the darn internet. So now when they downloaded your little report, now every time they turn around, you're there. You're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're on Google. They can't escape you. It's called retargeting. So if it's like going to Amazon and looking at a product and you actually don't buy the product, but then it follows you around the internet. That's what you need to be doing. Date number 1, date number 2, date number 3, so on and so forth. Top of the mind awareness. And make sure that you have your Google tag installed as well, because retargeting is the most powerful form of marketing and advertising that you can do, because they have already been on date number 1. And now they get to do what's most important, which is to know, like, and trust you. And they get there because you're going to be adding value. If you guys are feeling what I'm putting down, you're picking up what I'm putting down, I want you to put value in the comments right now. You need to make sure that you understand that. Brendan said, not an Apple no more. You're right. I'm not advertising on iOS because of that. If you understand what I'm talking about, put value in the comments right now, because people do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. And the way you get there is by providing value. Customers are going to look at you underneath a microscope. Every time you go online, they're paying attention. Every time you send out an email, they're paying attention. Every time you go live, they're paying attention. They are making a determination whether they want to do business with you. And it all starts with your online presence. Now, let me give you a couple tips here that can help you convert some of these people into transactions. You also want to do ringless voicemails. So after you send it to the skip tracing company, you're going to do a blast voicemail to every last person. Now, for those that don't know what that is, that's when the phone never rings, but a voicemail is dropped in the phone. You can do this for pennies on the dollars. For my students, I teach you guys how to do that. It's in the course. You want to scrape their emails. You can do that with the skip tracing company to start putting these guys into an email campaign. You want to make sure that you're doing Facebook Lives as much as possible to get your name out there in the community. Guys, my name is Dwayne Roberts. My beautiful wife and I have put our heart and our soul into teaching real estate agents how to get to the next level. All right.